Early start. And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Friday, October 22nd. I am Josh Engleman, and I'm here to break it all down. 10-game Friday slate, final process of the week before we take a little bit of a break, and I could sleep in for one day, which will be very, very nice. Now, before we do anything, I want everybody to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. That helps me out a ton. You know I love those likes, everybody. Last night was something that I kept at arm's length, I guess. I had some stuff going on during the day. Wasn't really around for much of it. Didn't really prep all that much, if I'm going to be perfectly honest, heading into lock. 3-game slate. Once Drew Holiday and Brook Lopez went down, I just had Look, it's going to be a long season. It was 75 degrees and sunny here yesterday, and I wanted to take advantage of one very nice day. So I did. But I did play. And I wasn't expecting much. And when I went to bed at 9:30-ish, something like that, I thought I was going to get wrecked. I had a pretty big stand on the Bucks. That didn't go well. Luka was another very high pay-up guy, excuse me, for me. That was not great either. I knew that I didn't have a lot of Steph. I didn't know that he was going to drop 45, so I didn't really realize how bad it was going to get. I didn't do well. But evidently, given all of the tweets that I saw sent from 11:45 p.m. to, quarter after 12, I had, apparently I had a bit of a sweat and was sitting in first place for a while. I guess the sweat wasn't real. I tumbled, 200 more spots by the time it all ended. But it ended up being, 2 1% lineup. So I guess I can't be too mad about it, given how bad I got wrecked. It makes me feel good that on days where I definitely don't have the majority of my, high-level plays, they just didn't play well, it makes me feel good that I have live bullets anyway. So something to take away from that, I guess. I don't have infinite time today. This is normally a day where we would probably be going till about 8 o'clock. That is not going to work for me. This one's going to shut down at 7:30 one way or the other. I got to get to a meeting with my trainer. So I'm going to dive in now with very little people here so far because I jumped in here a little bit earlier than I should have. So, Melvin Mayo, good morning. It's good to see you. Congrats for being first in chat. Melvin, it might be you and I that are sharing this toast right now. We might be the only two. So cheers, everybody. Rise and grind. Rise and grind. This is going to be a fun season. I couldn't be happier to be covering the NBA right now. It's fun. It's the sport that I want to spend the most amount of time on. And I just love talking about it and watching it. It's great. So cheers, everybody. Grab your coffees, grab your waters, grab your beers, vodka, whatever you're doing to get yourself through this Friday. Feels like a coffee day to me. I don't know if it's just me, but 4 straight days has taken a little bit of the juice out of my batteries for right now. I'm still getting a little bit used to getting up at this time again because I had pushed my wake up a bit since I didn't have the process. But either way, guys, cheers. I need this coffee. Let's win some money tonight. I'm going full bore today. Joe Mar, cheers from the Philippines. Good morning. So that's it's like 6:30 p.m. for you, right? I used to do some pretty regular work with people in the Philippines at my previous job. We have an office in Manila, so there were regular times where I had to, have meetings at a time that wasn't all that favorable. But it's been so long now that I don't totally remember the time switch. Smithfield, Virginia. All right, Jerry, man, you're a little bit closer to me. Let's get some music going. I know where Smithfield, North Carolina is, Jerry. That much I could tell you. Nick Stam, good morning. I'm guessing my tweet is out. It is. Let's retweet that bad boy from the main account. Done. And let's dive in. The goal is to have 5 games done by the time we hit the 7 o'clock mark. We'll see how well that works out for us. So we're starting it off with the Boston Celtics taking on the Toronto Raptors. And good morning, Keith. The only real news we have here, Josh Richardson is now probable. Al Horford is questionable. And that's a conditioning thing. They played just 9 guys when Jay Rich and Horford were out. I think they're going to go to 10. The problem is I don't know who they're going to cut. Seems like it's going to be probably Nesmith, but let's look at this quickly before I jump to that conclusion. This is already going to take too long. All right, so Pritchard got second, and Pritchard started the second and the fourth. Nesmith is the guy that came in for a normal run. I don't think they're going to go to 11 after going 9. Which also leads me to believe that, well, I guess that wouldn't make a ton of sense. Horford's going, I think Horford's going to play. Let's say that right now. So we really, Winston, Money, Jordan, Winston, Salem, what's up? Now we got some North Carolina people here. All right, I'm just going to clear out these minutes because I don't think that it's valid to have the old stuff. I'm going to say that I'm going to give Time Lord 26. Let's make it 27. I'm going to give Al Horford that backup center run, 21 minutes. He's supposed to be limited for conditioning. I think just having him play straight backup center is probably the easiest way to go about something like that. I'm just going to lock in Jason Tatum for 35 minutes. I'm going to lock in Jaylen Brown for 35 minutes. I'm going to lock in Marcus Smart for 32. Schroeder, I think, feels about right at like 28. And then, so that's 6. We've got at least 4 more to go. Jay Rich, I expect to just play like 20 minutes a game. That seems like the most likely scenario. So I'm just going to go 13 and 7 there quickly for him. And that's when it starts to get harder. Nesmith, Romeo Langford, Peyton Pritchard, and Grant Williams all need minutes. So I'm going to give Grant Williams the backup run at the 4. Ramsey, good morning. Jay the Football Nerd, good morning. It's good to see you guys. Hit that like button as you get in the door. Did Peyton Pritchard and Aaron Nesmith really play the exact same amount of minutes? They certainly did. That's wild. All right, I'm going to assume they go to Pritchard more. At least for right now. So he played 11 in the first one. Why would he play more than that? It makes no sense to me. So I'll give him 12. Man, I'm running short on minutes, but I don't know where the hell else they're going to go. Let's do something like that. We'll get that up to 12. We'll take that down to 8. We'll move those 5 there. I'm going to say that Grant Williams plays 18 minutes since he played 30-something before. I don't know how else to give him those minutes if Jay Rich and Horford are back. If Horford is out, then Grant Williams might play another, big chunk of run. But 10 Porch, I appreciate you sweating for me. Ultimately meaningless, but I appreciate it. I don't mean meaningless that you were sweating for me. What I mean is that it didn't work out well for us. All right, so Boston in the books. Let's switch it over to Toronto, a team that really did not help me out on Wednesday. And if we look at Toronto's depth chart, no Siakam, no Yuta Watanabe, so this should all be business as usual. And by business as usual, I mean business as whatever we did in the first game. So, Fred VanVleet played 34 minutes in a game that wasn't all that competitive. I think 36 for Fred VanVleet moving forward is fine. Goran Dragic only played 21 minutes. Did he just miss the fourth quarter rotation? Because that would tell a pretty big story. Yes, he did not play the fourth quarter. They did close with VanVleet and Anunoby. It got close. They went on a bit of a run. Goran Dragic is going to close over Delano Banton, if that's how you say it. That's just going to happen. So, no, Butler's still not better than Middleton. I don't want to talk about that game. I'm missing 60% of their starting lineup potentially. I'm not going to be too brokenhearted over that loss. All right, so everything seems fine here on the Toronto side. We had Khem Birch play 26 minutes. Precious play 18. Boucher played 18. Is Khem Birch just going to play more than... Move this window. Is Khem Birch just going to play more than Precious? Precious started... Got that final run. Is that a foul? 1 foul. 3 fouls. 4 fouls. Yeah. A little bit of foul trouble stuff. So I don't think we need to get too married to that rotation. I think 24 for Precious and 23 for Khem Birch feels about right, at least as of right now. Scotty Barnes seems like he's just going to play 30 minutes a game, so that's something. Gary Trent was not very good. I don't really hate most of these minutes right now. Malachi Flynn not playing at all is certainly something. I'll take 2 minutes from him. But yeah, I feel pretty good about these minutes, other than the Malachi Flynn minutes. I'm just not entirely sure. Let's make it 8. Make that 12. 6 and 4. Nope. 6 and 6. There we go. All right, let's look at something like this for Boston and Toronto. I'm not moving at the pace that I was expecting. JR, thanks for being here, even though you're on the West Coast, man. All right, Boston. I prefer Robert Williams once again, even at 7K on FanDuel, 6,200 on DraftKings. If he's going to play 30 minutes, this dude's one of the best fantasy players in the world. I mean, we're talking about a 1.3 plus fantasy point per minute guy. He's a better fantasy option than Jason Tatum on a per minute basis. We'll see how that holds up. Jason Tatum, $2,800 more expensive on FanDuel, $26 on DraftKings. So I would rank it Robert Williams first. Jason Tatum for 8,800 is a really nice price on DraftKings. I don't mind Jaylen Brown, just probably not somebody I'm getting to a lot. Robert Williams is the star here. On Toronto, there's still a lot of value. Precious at 3,600. I would like to try that out again. Gary Trent at 4,400. I'll probably try that out again on DraftKings. Fred VanVleet 6,900 on DK. You got to go back there. It wasn't great in the first game, but I expect it to be better here. OG Anunoby looks pretty good on DK. All things considered, Toronto's just underpriced on DraftKings. Whether that's VanVleet, Anunoby, Scotty Barnes at 4,500, Dragic at 4,800, Trent, Achua, like Kem Birch is too expensive. That's fine. Chris Boucher is too expensive. That's fine. There's a lot to like on the Toronto side of this game, even though it's a tough matchup against Boston. Let's keep it moving, though, boys and girls. We're going to Brooklyn. Brooklyn and Philly. Well, we know this much. There's not going to be any Kyrie Irving for this game. No surprises there. We also know there's not going to be any Ben Simmons for this bad boy. None of this stuff is interesting information. We all know this. No Kyrie. That's it. Day'Ron Sharpe available. On the Philly side, just to get it out of the way since I have it pulled up. Q tag on Joel Embiid. Doubtful tag on Ben Simmons. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he's a little bit more than doubtful. And no Shake Milton. So, let's move on to the Brooklyn Nets. James Harden in for 36 minutes. Yep. Durant in for 36 minutes. Yep. Claxton got 24 in the first. Paul Millsap was the guy that took the haircut. I'm going to assume that happens again. LaMarcus Aldridge needs to get to like 16. So I think that works out of the gate. Blake Griffin playing 24 seems fine. I do have 2 extra minutes somewhere that I want to give to Claxton. Get him to 22. Bruce Brown. Basically not a part of the rotation in the first game. Not sure that he fits more in this spot. So we'll see where those minutes actually end up. Joe Harris seems fine at 31 minutes. Patty Mills played 29. I deeply, deeply regret not having more of him night one because I liked him a lot. I'm going to take him up to 27. I think that'll be okay. We're going to move Javon Carter's minutes out of there. I'm going to take Bembry's minutes out of there just to make this make a little bit more sense. So we have 40 minutes to go. I got to give some minutes to James Johnson, Javon Carter. They both are going to basically take 20. I just need to reappropriate where they go on the screen. So James Johnson's just going to get, we're going to give him those 18. And then Javon Carter, I'm going to give 18 minutes once again. How much blowout run was there? Not too much. 4 minutes? Yeah, 3:45. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't get the sense that Patty Mills is going to go 7 for 7 from 3 again, but that doesn't matter to me. And then, I don't know. Anybody can get this final 2 minutes. Let's just say that it's Bembry. And now we'll move it over to the Philadelphia 76ers. Obviously, I'm assuming Joel Embiid plays, even though he is questionable. But this one should be a spot where we don't have to make too many changes. Maxey in for 32 minutes. He played 33. I think Embiid plays his normal starter run. Andre Drummond gets the backup run. I think Tobias Harris plays his normal startup run. I think George Niang gets the backup run. Danny Green plays normal-ish minutes, but I think that I probably need to give a little bit more to Matisse Thybulle. So we're going to go 24-24. Joff, I have not listened to Haralabob's podcast appearance. Korkmaz at 16, Isaiah Joe at 16, Seth Curry at 32. None of this seems all that wild to me. I think Philly just sticks where we're at. So let's take a look at Brooklyn. Remember, 10-game slate today. I'm going to take some coffee because I need it. All right, on Brooklyn. I really like Harden and Durant on DraftKings, 9,400 and 9,300. To me, they're basically equal. I can't separate them. Nick Claxton for 3,800 on DraftKings. I'm going to be doing that again. I prefer Harden to Durant on FanDuel. Harden is just a little bit cheaper, and I think that helps out a bit. No Joe Harris for me, although he's a better value on FanDuel. I wouldn't be playing him on DraftKings. Nobody else like really sneaking through. On Philly, Joel Embiid, 10-7 on FanDuel, 10K on DraftKings. Sign me up for a ton of Joel Embiid once again. Sign me up for Tobias Harris on both sites, although I like him more on DraftKings at 7,200. Maxey is another really good value, 5,800 on FanDuel, 5,300 on DraftKings. I want all three of those guys. I think Matisse Thybulle, if you want to get really weird on DraftKings, is an okay value at 3,300, given expecting 24 minutes. But I'm sticking to the top three here. In particular, I would say Embiid, then Maxey, then Harris. But I'm happy to get any one of these guys. That's not bad. All right, we're through 2 games. This pace is not going to keep up, but what I do need to keep up is for you guys to hit that like button. 70, 80 viewers, 42 likes. We're slowly getting more people in here as the minutes tick by. All right, we're on to the Chicago Bulls taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. For the Bulls, I didn't pay too much attention to that first game. I'm guessing the minutes are close to right, although I do know that Alize Johnson played a bunch, and I didn't expect that the first time out. So we've got Lonzo in for 34 minutes. That's fine with me. We've got Zach LaVine in for 34 minutes. Fine with me. DeMar for 34. Good. Vooch in for 34. Good. So all the starters seem fine. Pat Williams in for 28. I had him in for 29. I think that's fine. Derek Jones wasn't the guy that played. It was Alize Johnson, so I'm just going to switch those minutes right out of the gate. Javonte Green, I did give minutes. He did get that run. Troy Brown, I gave 16 minutes. Ayo Dosunmu is the guy that actually got it, and I don't have him in my model right now. I don't really want to make that change, but I do need to mark that off. I am going to switch and give Dosunmu those minutes. It's not going to matter for what we're doing right now, but if I put those minutes in right now, everything's going to break because I haven't added him yet, and this is the first time that I knew that I had to add him. If Embiid sits, do we fire up Drummond? Yeah, that one's not much of a question. Unless Andre Drummond is somehow priced in a way that I wouldn't expect. I got to take down Troy Brown's minutes, though. We'll make that 10. And I'm just going to throw those 6 to Matt Thomas so that it doesn't matter. And then we're going to switch it over to the Pels. And for this Pelicans team, I am not a fan. Let's look at their injury situation. Where are we at? Oh, I didn't even look at Chicago to see if they had any weird injury news. Patrick Williams probable, Kobe White out. Yeah, all right. So nothing that we didn't already know. New Orleans Pelicans. No Zion. Q tag on Josh Hart. All right. Easy peasy for the Pels. So 30 minutes for Devontae Graham. Perfect. 30 minutes for Joe Val. Perfect. Brandon Ingram, 34. Perfect. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, probably need to give him some more minutes. Kira Lewis did see the floor even more than I thought. Satoransky played less than I thought. So let's swap those guys out. Trey Murphy played 18 minutes. I think 16's fine. Najee Marshall played 20. Maybe I don't need to go to 26. Let's knock that down to 22. That frees up a little bit more playing time. I'm going to take Nickeil Alexander-Walker to 32. We'll take that to 2. We'll take that to 14. So that's 16 on Trey Murphy. I still have 2 minutes free. Garrett Temple played probably more than I was expecting. So let's do this. Let's do something like that. Boom. Pelicans in. Wait, 11-man rotation? Sort of, I guess. Oh, Josh Hart's not going to play 24 minutes. Did Josh Hart went down early, right? That's why he's got the Q tag. Yeah, Josh Hart stopped playing there. Okay. Yeah, if Josh Hart doesn't play, we can move those minutes around, but I'm assuming Josh Hart's going to play a decent chunk of change if he's healthy. So, all right, let's look at the Lonzo revenge narrative game, but we're going to start on the Chicago side with Lonzo. Yeah, Vooch for 7,800 on DraftKings is very clearly my favorite option from Chicago. I like Levine more on DraftKings. I like Lonzo more on FanDuel, although it's close. I think Patrick Williams is a flyer, like value-ish option, but Vooch is the main piece here. 7,800 on DraftKings is just not the correct price for him. That is just wrong. On the Pelicans side, Joval 6,500 on FanDuel. Yup. 7,200 on DraftKings still works. $7,500 Ingram is a value. Nickeil Alexander-Walker on FanDuel for 5,700 guard forward eligibility. Yup. Najee Marshall 3,800 on FanDuel is a nice value option. He's 5,100 on DraftKings. That is less so. Devontae Graham works a bit more on DK. So we're bouncing around a lot across both sites. That's for sure. Interesting game. All right, we're on to my Charlotte Hornets. Forgot to unselect New Orleans. All right, my Charlotte Hornets taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers, who stink really, really bad, if we're being honest. On the Charlotte side, Q-tag on Rozier, didn't play in the opener. I'm going to assume he plays in this one, though, right? I don't think he's sitting both games. Book Knight didn't see the floor. Let's take Cody Martin's minutes. Let's take those Ish Smith minutes. So 34 for LaMelo. Was that a rout in game one? No, ultra competitive. Oh yeah, they were getting waxed and then came back. Totally forgot about that. Okay. Let's think this through. 24 minutes on Mason Plumlee. He played 32. So I'm going to assume that Plumlee's getting 30 minutes moving forward, which means we're going to have to crush PJ Washington's hopes and dreams. Take him to 18. Does 24 for him make sense? I guess. Miles Bridges played big minutes. That's fine. Let's take him to 32. Jalen McDaniels can keep his 8. I probably need 2 more minutes to go to Gordon Hayward. Kelly Oubre played monster minutes. We're going to give Terry Rozier his 34. That gets me to 9 guys. They ran 9 in game 1. I don't know if they want to run 10. They probably do. 34 minutes for LaMelo. I'm just going to take it to 32. And I'm going to leave Ish at 16. I just don't know where else the minutes would come from. Do they cut Kelly Oubre's minutes to go to 10 guys and get Cody Martin on the floor? Or because I don't see a natural other person whose minutes we would be trimming. And like Mason Plumlee doesn't have a ton to do with... Ooh, subtle reminder to hit save. I like that. I'm going to say that they go with 9 and they don't get Cody Martin out there. For right now, I don't totally understand. You know what? Let's go 32 and 2. Just so he shows up. And now let's hop over to Cleveland, where this sad sack bunch. Love played 18 minutes, so I feel like mildly correct. I give myself like a B on my thoughts on Kevin Love from before the strategy show in game 1. Just felt weird to me that he was going to play like 6 minutes as a garbage backup. All right. Q-tag on Garland. Dylan Windler out. Dean Wade probable. I'm going to move forward with basically any Q-tag. I'm putting them in unless we know something's really weird with a person. So Cleveland, Garland, I'm giving the same sort of playing time that he had in game 1. Same story for Colin Sexton. Evan Mobley played a lot more than I was expecting. I didn't expect 38 minutes in his opener. Lamar Stevens didn't see the floor. I don't think Mobley's playing 38 minutes a game, but I am going to give him 32 for the game. Jared Allen playing 30 seems reasonable. Kevin Love playing 18 seems reasonable. Lauri Markkanen. Actually, Isaac Okoro played 20. Lauri Markkanen played 30, so those need to go away. They need to get added in. Let's make that 14 and 16. Chetty played pretty normal run. I think right here, we're going to be in good shape. Coffee be delicious. All right. I think we're good with Cleveland and Charlotte. So let's take a peek at it. Jason, you're not going to like what I have to say, but those guys didn't move around as much. That's why it was easier to play 82 games then. It was an easier game to play. All right, Charlotte. Mason Plumlee, 6,300 on FanDuel, might be my favorite option here. I don't like a lot from Charlotte because it all looks really similar. How do you pick between Hayward and Ball and Rozier and Bridges and Plumlee and Oubre and PJ Washington? I don't think you do. Nobody really standing out. $5,100 Kelly Oubre on FanDuel is my first look. $7,700 LaMelo on DraftKings is good. He's probably the best DK option. But this is all really difficult to want to get to the Hornets today. For the Cavs, bleak, dude, bleak. Lauri Markkanen, probably the best option. 5,100 on FanDuel, 5,200 on DraftKings. Adam White, Rozier is questionable right now, so I'm putting him in. You guys are saying dropping frames. I haven't dropped any in OBS. So, not entirely sure there's anything I can do there. Because it's not showing up on my end. Everything's right as rain on my end. Let me look at my mic settings. Let's see if that's... Cantor, let me know if this is any better. I didn't know if that was a little different. Appreciate you guys for letting me know. Also, 5 minutes to go until 7 a.m. We're looking to hit 26 more likes by that point. Well, if everything's good, everything's good. Hey, Cantor, did you pay the internet bill? I think this is just you. I don't think that I'm getting to a lot of Cleveland. Mobley's price is too high. Markkanen is probably the only guy that I'd really look to, and I really hate this Cleveland team. If Darius Garland ends up out, that'll open stuff up a little bit more. All right, next up, Denver Nuggets, San Antonio Spurs. What do we got going here for the Nugs? No Jamal Murray, obviously. On the San Antonio side, no news, and we also didn't get Thad Young in the first game, which is wild, so we'll see how we're going to react to that. But Denver. All good now? Dope. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Yo, that coffee's hitting the spot. So I've got this giant pre-workout drink that I got to drink too, coming up in like 20 minutes, so that'll be fun. Yeah, Matthew, that's not a game I play at 7 o'clock in the morning. All right. Denver Nugs, 34 minutes for Jokic. Sounds good. Michael Porter Jr., 34 minutes. I got him at 33. That's fine. Will Barton played 32, 33. That works. Aaron Gordon, 29 and 29. Morris, 28 and 28. PJ Dozier. All right, Dozier got time. That's important. Dozier got more time than Rivers, so let's take him down. And let's bump him up. That's 16. I kind of figured Dozier would get more time. So Jeff Green played 19. JaMychal Green played 13. So we need 30-something minutes from those two guys. I have them in for 38. That's not going to work. So I'm going to take JaMychal down to 14. So I think that's going to cover me. Wait. Oh, yeah, I had Bones in instead of Rivers. I was looking at that incorrectly. There we go. Now we take Bones out. Everything else should be fine for Denver. I know I don't have to make any changes. No changes for Denver. So we go to San Antonio. Now this is one that's going to take some changes. Because for some reason Thad Young didn't see the floor. And that doesn't make a ton of sense to me. What happened in that first San Antonio game? Like, I obviously don't watch a ton of San Antonio Spurs. Okay, so San Antonio beat the Magic by 26. So all the starters didn't get their final run. McBuckets didn't even come back in the fourth. What else we got here? I really don't know why Thad Young didn't play. I can't imagine that's going to be a long-term decision. I mean, he's probably like he's one of the 5 best players on the Bulls or on the Spurs, that's for sure. All right, let's try to hash this Spurs rotation out because I don't think this is going to be all that easy. Jake Pudd's at 28 minutes. Cool. I'm going to take Thad's minutes away since he didn't have them. We'll figure it out after that. Drew Eubanks played backup run. Cool. Easy to deal with so far. DeJounte's minutes are fine. Derek White's minutes are fine. I'm going to take Bryn Forbes' minutes away, even though he did play, but I think that's blowout run. Keldon Johnson's minutes seem maybe a little high at 32, but at the same time, he played 28. If he closes, it's going to be fine. McBucket's at 27. That's fine. He played 22 and a half, didn't play the fourth quarter at all. Easy. Devin Vassell played 25 minutes. I could probably give him 2 more if I needed to. Keita Bates-Diop was the guy that played, and he did get that legitimate rotation in a time where, what was he? Yeah, plus 19. Like, I guess they just didn't miss. So I think Keita Bates-Diop is probably just going to get some run there, right? He came in for McDermott, and then the game was just over. They went on a 25-5 run to close out the third and start the fourth. Bryn Forbes played an early rotation, so I guess I can keep him too. I don't think it's going to matter all that much. So if Pirtle played 30 and 43... Okay, blowout run for the final 4 minutes at center. Yeah, I think I need to give a little bit more playing time to Jake Puddle and maybe a little bit more playing time to Drew Eubanks as well. And then this is just going to get weird, but I don't really have much of a choice. Keita Bates-Diop in for 13, and I think that makes sense. I don't really want to give... Oh, yeah, Vassell needs more time, right? Or did he get 4 from blowout round? Fuck, he did. That's not what I wanted to see. I didn't even say Lonnie Walker's name. 25 minutes for Lonnie Walker. I have him in for 24. Okay. We'll give him 1 more. And I'll give Vassell 1 more. And I'm going to assume that Bryn Forbes would get that final rotation and play 10. So we're done with San Antonio. We're done with Denver. We're at 7 o'clock in the morning. 88 likes, guys. Hit that thumbs up so we can get to 100. By the way, I haven't mentioned it yet. Shout out to Prize Picks for being the presenting sponsor of the process. I'm really happy to have them here. We're going to talk about Prize Picks on this show moving forward, starting next week. But deposit at Prize Picks. Up to $100. They will match it with $100 using the promo code Awesemo. Take that free money, guys. Don't overthink it here. It's a really great deal. All right, on the Denver Nuggets side, I like Jokic 11-1 and 10-2. He's a fantastic fantasy performer. $6,300 Michael Porter on DraftKings seems fantastic. Aaron Gordon is the guy I'm most interested in across both sites. $4,900 on FanDuel, $5,100 on DK. Both of those things make some sense to me. J187, I appreciate you. Monty Morris for $4,300 on FanDuel, also undervalued. For the Spurs, I did not give Josh Primo minutes. What are we talking about? Who did I actually type that into? Not K-Debate's job, apparently. There we go. DeJounte Murray, probably a bit too expensive on FanDuel. 7K on DraftKings works. Derek White, I like more on FanDuel at 5,900. It still works well at 5,900 on DK. Keldon Johnson is really good on DraftKings at 5K. I think Jake Puddle is good on DraftKings at 5,700. There's a bit more to like on the Spurs than I was originally expecting. All right, so my goal was to get through 5 games in the first chunk of time of this, or the first half hour of the show. Boston, Brooklyn, Chicago, Charlotte, Denver. I did that. So we're on pace. On to Houston now. Houston OKC in a battle of two teams that probably both don't want to win. Let's go look at the Houston rotations from game 1. So for Houston, we got a Q tag on Daniel House. For Oklahoma City, no injury news to speak of. It didn't work out well for me going to Houston in game 1. I probably am going to do the same thing, so we'll see where that takes us. Daniel Tice, 26 minutes. Why did Daniel Tice not play more? That is the first question we need to know. Well, getting beat by 18 probably didn't help. Didn't get a chance to close either, which I would expect that he does. So I don't want to overreact too much. So I'm going to keep Daniel Tice's minutes, but go to 25. Şengün, did you play in the blowout run? No, which is awesome to see. Kenyon Martin didn't play at all, which is interesting. So we're going to have to put David Nwaba in the rotation, I reckon. So let's pull Kenyon Martin Jr.'s minutes. We give Şengün an extra minute and take Armani Brooks' minute away. Christian Wood played 32. I got him in for 32. That is fine. DJ Augustine played backup point guard run. Perfect. 32 minutes for Jalen Green. Dope. 28 minutes for Eric Gordon. Did not do that. Think that he would probably could close at least. 28 minutes for Jayshawn Tate. Also too many. But again, if these guys aren't going to play their final rotation, I think that my original estimate is fine. We don't want to overreact to a team that didn't play their guys when they would expect to play them in a competitive game. So that leaves me 30 minutes to give to David Nwaba and nobody, which doesn't make a ton of sense. But they only played 9 guys. All right, so let's give David Nwaba more playing time. That's an easy spot to do. Let's do something like this. And we'll get Nwaba up to... There we go. So at 14 additional minutes, it really does feel like it's Kenyon Martin, though. It's the position that makes the most sense, especially if they didn't go to any of those other guys during the game. I don't know who else it would be. Let's take Kevin Porter to 32. Let's take Augustine to 16. I'm going to give these minutes to Kevin Porter again. I think that makes the most sense. All right, so Houston's in. Now let's look at Oklahoma City. This is going to be a fun slate, guys. I'm really enjoying this. 98 likes, so we're about to hit our mark. That's nice to see. All right, we've got Josh Giddey, 28 minutes. Good. Teo Maledon, backup point guard? Nope. It's going to be Trey Mann, who at least it looks like it's going to be Trey Mann. So let's take Teo Maledon. Oh, no. Teo Maledon played 21 minutes. What am I doing? All right. So point guard minutes are fine. Shea at 34. Good. Isaiah Roby played 14. Didn't he start? They did get beat by 20 by the Jazz. Not surprising. No, Roby didn't start. Giddey started. Oh, Favor started and played 20 minutes. All right. So I'm going to take Roby down to 20 minutes because I think that makes more sense. Poku didn't play nearly as much as I thought he would. Baisley played his normal 30. So 20 for Favors, 20 for Roby. God, Oklahoma City is going to be so tricky. All right, I gave Giddy 28 minutes, so that's fine. All right, so that's fine. I really don't know how to project this Oklahoma City team. Poku's not going to play a ton, so that's just going to be like 18 minutes for Poku. Where do those other 8 minutes go at center? I guess it's one of these generic dudes at the end of the bench. I just don't know who the hell they are. Vit Krejci or Jeremiah Robinson Earl. Who are these people? All right, so I got to get Trey Mann in there. How tall is Trey Mann? He is 6'5". Okay, perfect. So Trey Mann, you can go ahead and grab these 4 minutes. I got to take these minutes away from Ty Jerome, I guess, too. So Trey Mann, you can just have these 14 minutes and move along. I'm going to have to add Jeremiah Robinson Earl to my model. I don't have him in there now. Kenrich Williams playing 16 minutes is perfect. I can give him these 16 and really not bat an eye. That takes me to 10 guys. I can't give Robinson Earl these 8 right out of the gate, so I am going to give them to, I don't know, Mike Muscala for right now is going to be fine. Won't change anything. Let's take a look at Houston. Cole Whaley, if you think that's true, you must live in Wilmington, Delaware. All right. Kevin Porter on FanDuel, 6K. I don't see how you get away from him in large field GPPs. There's just too much upside. Jalen Green on DraftKings for 4,800. I'm going to be going back there. I think that he's going to be a legitimate scoring talent in the NBA. Christian Wood for 7,100 on DraftKings. That's a broken price tag. There's a ceiling there that can be really, really problematic. I'll take my shot on Tice again, too. Oklahoma City. Love Shea for 7,500 or 6,500. $6,700 Shea on DraftKings is dumb. That's just dumb. He's going to have a monster day, especially against Houston, too. Lou Dort, I think, looks really good for 4,800 or 5,100. You just have to hope that it's the day where the stats pop. I know that sounds dumb, but like you need the steals and blocks there for Dort, or at least the steals. $4,100 Josh Giddey is a nice value. $3,600 Derek Favors is going to make me sick, but I like it against Houston. Like, this is a really crazy matchup. I'm going to have a lot of OKC Houston unless the ownership is just crazy. 100 likes, by the way. You guys are the best. All right, we're going to move it along to Indy. Indy is taking on the Wizards, and the Wizards played a lot better in the opener than I was expecting. I did not want that to happen either. So we're going to start on the Indy side. Indy just smiggity smashed, and then all of a sudden the Hornets were back in it, and then Indy choked it away. Didn't expect that to happen. Indy played a 8-man rotation on day 1 under Rick Carlisle, so that's always really fun to see. As long as we look at the injury report quickly for Indianapolis, Q tag on Justin Holiday, Q tag on Torrey Craig, Q tag on Jeremy Lamb. They all played, so I'm going to assume they play again. On the Washington side, Q tag on Bradley Beal. No Thomas Bryant, no Rui, but we knew that. All right. I'm going to delete every single minute that's in here for Indy since they went to such a core rotation. I'm going to say that if they're willing to play Malcolm Brogdon 40 minutes in the opener, I'm going to say that they're willing to play him 36 minutes today. Miles Turner, I think, just works at like 29 minutes. They didn't play Goga Batadze, so I'm going to say that the other 19 backup center minutes go to Domantas Sabonis, and then he plays another 17, takes him to 36. That all seems fine so far. TJ McConnell is going to need backup point guard run, plus more run at the 2. So there's 24. We got to go to... And who plays the rest of the minutes at the 4? How tall is Chris Duarte? I legit don't remember. Oh yeah, he's point guard sized. Torrey Craig's small too. Who the hell was playing the 4 for most of this game for Indy? Ah, that's not the right game flow. Indianapolis. So like when Sabonis is off, Turner, Brogdon, Craig, Lamb, McConnell. Sabonis is off. Holiday, Turner. All right, so they're just small. It doesn't really matter. It's all nominal. That's all that matters. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and give Chris Duarte. Let's just say 28 minutes for right now. Let's go 30. Let's be realistic here. We're gonna go 6 more to Jeremy Lamb plus another 18. We're going to give Justin Holiday and Torrey Craig their minutes. Torrey Craig played 28. Let's do 26. We'll say Justin Holiday plays 26 as well. Yeah, I think they're going to have to go to a 10th guy. They're not going to play Brogdon 40 minutes a game. I think O'Shea Brissett makes sense as the first guy to get that sort of playing time just because they need more size. I think that makes the most sense. Is that... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, who did I not give minutes to that played last time? Oh, yeah, they went 8. They went 8. Yeah, they're going to go to 9. They're going to need the body. All right, so that's Indy. Let's go to Washington. These teams are slowing me down now. Let's hope Washington doesn't. I don't think Washington will either. So we've got Spencer Dinwiddie in for 32 minutes. I'm going to walk it down to 30 just in case. Bump up Howell Neto to 16. Aaron Holiday played 12, so that's perfect. Beal in at 34, perfect. KCP 28, perfect. Kuzma 30, played a little bit more, good to know. Bertans played less. Let's take him down to 22. We'll take Kuz up to 26. Gafford played 22. Harrell played 26. I'm going to go straight 24-24 split on these two. I know Harrell was smashing. I would like to get Neto a couple more minutes. I just don't know where they come from. I guess they got to come from Dinwiddie, but I don't really feel comfortable there. And I don't know who else. There's not anybody else on this team that I could take those minutes from. I guess Bertans would be the guy. But I think 22 feels right. So let's look at this team. We have Indy. Wow, a lot to like on FanDuel for Indy and on DraftKings. So Torrey Craig for 3,500 on DK or Jeremy Lamb for 3,700 are both reasonable value options. But Sabonis for 9,700 or 9K, amazing option today. 7,700 and 7,500 for Malcolm Brogdon, amazing options for today. Actually, I want to knock down the pace of the Wizards by one possession just to take into account that Russ isn't there any longer. Duarte is probably not a guy that I'm going to get to all that much. I think that price tag is too high. Miles Turner for 5,900 on FanDuel or 5,700 on DraftKings I think works as a nice value if he's going to get some blocks. This seems like a good game for it. I really like this Indy team like clear across the board. Jeremy Lamb's too cheap. 3,600, 3,700. A lot of value for Indy. On Washington, $5,600 Kuzma on FanDuel, $57 on DraftKings. Yeah. $5,600 Dinwiddie on DraftKings. Yes. Beal if he plays at 9,200. Yes. We're in good shape. Jordan, congratulations, man. That's awesome. Repping the brand here. Repping the brand of Awesemo. Taking down the $1.20 entry max on DK. Love to see it. Morning. Morning, News God. All right, let's keep moving here. LA Lakers taking on the Phoenix Suns. Let's see what we've got going on for the Lake Show. This one should go pretty quickly. At least that's the plan. Lakers, no Ellington, Ariza, Nunn, or Tucker. Oh, Nunn is just out for a while, huh? That's something. And then for Phoenix, no news, right? Yep, Shamet probable. Good. All right, this one should be pretty easy to do. AD 34 minutes. We'll deal with that when we have to. LeBron 34, Russ 34. Let's say that that's not the case. Let's do 36. Let's do 36. And let's do 36. Perfect. All right, studs are in. Kent Bazemore played monster minutes. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. I'm going to take Melo's minutes out. I'm going to take Dwight and DeAndre's minutes out. We're going to take Monk out and Rondo out. So Bazemore's going to need 30. Melo needs time, but let's get the centers out of the way. DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard both played about 13 minutes. I'm going to go 14 for Jordan. I'm going to go 14 for Dwight. And that's going to give me 16 and 20 here. Carmelo Anthony is going to play more than he should. There's 24 minutes for Melo. Backup point guard. So Avery Bradley played, Rondo played, and Rondo played alongside Russ for way more minutes than I was expecting, which is not a good thing for the Lakers. I'm going to assume that happens again. So let's say that Rondo plays 18 minutes. We're going to say that Malik Monk plays 18 minutes. We're going to say that Avery Bradley does see the floor, play about 12 minutes. Who am I missing? Why am I 32 minutes short? Oh, I didn't give Bazemore his minutes yet. Well, that explains a lot, because he's going to play 30 of them. There's 20 here for Bazemore, plus another 10, and we will give 2 minutes of spillover time to Austin Reeves. This all seems fine to me. On the Phoenix side, this should be even easier. I might not even need to touch this. I don't think anything weird happened in their rotation. We've got 32 minutes of Chris Paul. Sure. Mikal Bridges, 32 minutes. Yes. Ayton, 32 minutes. Yes. Booker, 34. He will eventually. Jay Crowder played a little bit less. Cam Johnson played exactly what I was expecting. Abdel Nader did get his minutes. We'll go 26 on Crowder. 2 and 22. Get Nader up to 10. JaVale played the backup center run. Ideal. Backup point guard to campaign. Done. That's going to be easy. All right, Lakers. Still don't know what their rates are going to be like. Definitely like the Lakers a lot more on DraftKings. They're just, the price tags are so much more viable. I would say that AD would be the guy I like the most. Then Russ, then LeBron. Really difficult, though. Kent Bazemore 4,100 on FanDuel is a pretty good value. Now, on the opposite side of the Lakers, we've got Phoenix. And I don't anticipate playing much of Phoenix. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, I'm probably going there for value. DeAndre Ayton for 6,700, underpriced, but we've got a lot of really good centers. 184 viewers. We're over 100 likes. We've got Prize Picks sponsoring with the promo code Awesemo. I'm about to drink my pre-workout. Oh, let me mute that so you. All right, perfect. Now that we got the music in the background, the silence isn't as bad. I assume you guys hear that music, right? Nope, I've muted it. Only I hear it. Now the music is here. You were just getting silence. My apologies. Thought I unmuted it before, but now we've got the backup tunes. All right, on to the next one. I don't know how many more games we have to go, but we need to go faster. We did the Pels, so we're on to the New York Knickerbockers. This is fight milk, dude. Crow's eggs and shit in here. And I just poured it all over myself. Now it's pink lemonade. That's the flavor. All right, Knicks and Magic. This should be a barn burner. All righty. For the Knicks, any injury news? No Nerlens Noel. Taj, questionable. That is actually important, but neither here nor there. Orlando, no Fultz, no Okiki, no Isaac, no Gary Harris, no Eton Moore, no Michael Carter-Williams. All right, that should be a blast. So let's go ahead and knock out the Knicks. Drinking the Joe Rogan horse paste. Yeah, something like that. Yes, I'm still on the zinc, Zach Jameson. All right. Can't expect double OT again. So 36 minutes for Randall. Sounds good. 28 minutes for Mitchell Robinson. Sounds good. 18 for Obi Toppin. I think sounds good. 30 minutes for Kemba Walker. Sure. I think quickly for 16 is probably about to be a problem. Let's go ahead and cut that down. Evan Fournier seems pretty good. Alec Burks played as much as I was expecting. So I've got about 8 minutes to go on a rotation that actually the minutes went to Jericho Sims. I'll deal with that one later. It's possible that Taj just plays too and makes this all a little bit easier, but this is a really thin. It's not thin. They have a lot of NBA players and then a line in the sand where they don't. And I think that is telling. I don't really know who to give these 8 minutes to other than Sims. I'm just going to give him the Luka Samanic for right now, just to fill it. But I don't have much that I want to change for the Knicks. On the Orlando side, we're going to have to take Gary Harris out. This team is so thin, it's insane. Cole Anthony for 28 minutes. I'm actually comfortable going to 30 there. I was high on him before, and that seemed to work out pretty well. Yeah, Matthew, I saw that. I don't know if he's going to pick up with the team on a road game, though. We'll see. Look, again, it's not all that important for right now. I lost my minutes. There we go. So, for Orlando, I should never have cut the Franz Wagner minutes I had from the beginning. They went 30 minutes to Jalen Suggs. That seems about right for me. Cole Anthony, good. Franz Wagner, good. Terrence Ross played his normal run. Let's do 15 and 29 here. RJ Hampton got back up guard run. We're going to deal with giving him more minutes. Robin Lopez played 13 minutes. Mo Bamba played 28, so 26, good. Wendell Carter played a lot less. That's not what I was expecting. So let's go ahead and give him a bit of a haircut. Mo Wagner keeps his minutes. I've got 22 left over for Iggy Brazdeikis. Not what I was ever expecting. So we'll give Brazdeikis 18. And then I think that I want to give RJ Hampton like a little bit more run. So let's give him 6. And 2 spillover minutes go to... They don't have any other healthy bodies, do they? They don't. It can't be any of the guys that I have on this screen. I got to give these minutes legitimately to somebody in this game. Who's got the least? All right, one more for Mo Wagner. One more for Rolo. All right, Orlando and the Knicks are done. I am butting up against the drop dead time on this show, too. Knicks. Julius Randle for 8,500 on DK? Yup. RJ Barrett for 5,800 on DK? Yup. Any of these guys on FanDuel? Probably not. Yeah, kickstart. Gary Harris did. I'm playing a ton of Orlando again. Franz Wagner, 4K on FanDuel, 4,500 on DraftKings. Yes, especially on FanDuel. Cole Anthony, 4,900 on FanDuel. Absolutely. 6,300 on DraftKings. It's not out of the realm of possibility. Mo Bamba's price seems fine given his block upside. RJ Hampton for 3,900 is a pretty decent value play. I think there's a lot of value to be had on Orlando. Jalen Suggs, 4K on DraftKings. Sure, that works. Next, Sacramento Kings taking on the Utah Jazz. Let's hop over to Sacktown here. Sacramento Q-tag on Mo Harkless. Jazz, other than Rudy Gay, no news. Sacramento played a 9-man rotation to start the season. We'll take Lewis King's minutes away. We'll take Alex Len's minutes away. 34 minutes for Fox, yes. Harry Barnes at 34. I'm going to say yes again. If we need to bump it, we'll bump it. Buddy Hield at 30, yes. Rashawn Holmes, 30, yes. I had Halliburton at 32. He played 28. We'll see. Davion Mitchell played 24. So let's go ahead and take Halliburton to 30. We'll take Davion Mitchell up to... Oh, man, I don't know how I'm going to run crunches. 234. Okay, that's a good total. Mo Harkless played 22. That's exactly where I have him. Tristan Thompson, backup center run. That makes sense. Terrence Davis played 14. Okay, so they did do that. I got to give 4 spillover minutes somewhere. We'll give them to Chimeti Metu. On to Utah. I would guess we're not touching the Utah rotation at all because it's the Utah Jazz and we know exactly what they do. And they don't really ever deviate from that path. I am going to leave every single thing here that I see because this seems to me like the same rotation that it normally is. So, Sacktown. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox on FanDuel, 8,500 and 8,400 on DK. Rashawn Holmes for 6,400 on DraftKings. There's so much center value today. It's nuts. There's too many. $3,400 Davion Mitchell on DraftKings is a value play that works. Finally, on the Utah side, which I believe is actually going to be the final team that we needed, right? Yeah. We did the Spurs, we did Toronto, we did Washington. So we've got everything now. Utah, basically unplayable. Mike Conley on DraftKings is a decent value. Royce O'Neal is a decent value on FanDuel. Let's run crunches as fast as we possibly can so that I can get out of here on time. First up, FanDuel Optimals. We're at 7:30 on the dot. This should get me out perfectly. All right. First up, FanDuel Optimal. Guys, thank you very much for being here. 185 viewers at 7:30 a.m. Half the country isn't awake yet. Malcolm Brogdon, Derek White, Cole Anthony, Franz Wagner, Tobias Harris, Jeremy Lamb, Domantas Sabonis, Miles Turner, and Joel Embiid ring out my optimal on FanDuel. That's a fun optimal. Would not want to play 4 Pacers on a 10-game slate, but that's neither here nor there. Now, power rankings. This is what matters most. This is the stuff we like to see. You guys really are the best crew, man. To get close to 200 people on a Friday starting at 6:20 a.m. I mean, you guys are savages. It's great having you guys as fans. Oh boy. We are going to be looking at a Franz Wagner number 1 contender for today. All right, as the power rankings on FanDuel run in the background, I'm going to run DraftKings for an optimal as well. And then once the optimal is done, we can hop back and look at the power rankings and vice versa. So, optimal lineup on DraftKings. We have Tyrese Maxey, Fred VanVleet, Jeremy Lamb, Torrey Craig, Christian Wood, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Domantas Sabonis, and Nikola Vucevic. That is a fun lineup. I like that a lot. Other than the Lamb-Torrey Craig combo, which I wouldn't want, but, you know, you could find value elsewhere. Jay Stamps, thank you. Ryan Alderman, thank you. Andrew, thank you. I like to see all of that. Look, I do this shit for you guys, and I mean that sincerely. This helps me out. So selfishly, I'm happy to do it. But by doing this show, it makes me better at DFS. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. All right. Power rankings for DraftKings are running right now. Power rankings on FanDuel are probably pretty stable at this point. We're going to go Franz Wagner, Domantas Sabonis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Malcolm Brogdon, Kevin Porter Jr., Jeremy Lamb, James Harden, Cole Anthony, my Kyle Kuzma, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, Derek White, Fred VanVleet. They're all at the top here. This is about somewhere in that top 10 range. Oh, by the way, I can't remember who tweeted at me about it. Might have been Jay the Football Nerd, actually. I'm going to work on the teardrop, some sort of like tiered up graphic for you guys. Now that I'm a little bit more focused on basketball, I've got some time to do it. I want to be able to put out what I like a little bit easier. Now let's finish this off. DraftKings power rankings. Fred VanVleet didn't work out in game one. We're going back to it. SGA, the underpriced Pacers. So Brogdon, Craig, Lamb, Sabonis, Michael Porter Jr., Kuzma, Gary Trent, James Harden, Dinwiddie, Vooch, Lou Dort. So, Kickstart, you said something there, and I want to be... This is the final thing that I'm going to say. We'll talk through it right now. Full screen. Boom. Kickstart in chat said, looking a lot like 2 days ago. And I personally take that as a badge of honor. If you see a set of projections from 2 days ago, and they wildly differ for today, I think that whoever's making those projections is not doing a very good job. They should not change. Whatever stance that I was taking on Wednesday, aside from minutes, but my rates, that's a baseline. That's never going to change. So if I were having big fluctuations, the pricing will cause those fluctuations or the playing time will cause that. But my projections should be really, really similar, ignoring pace. They should be very similar to whatever I did on Wednesday. I would not want to see a model that's going to fluctuate a lot because they're overreacting to one individual game. So I look at that as a sign that my model is something that I am happy about because I shouldn't have fluctuated. I had a lot of Fred VanVleet on Wednesday. It didn't work out well. I shouldn't now think that Fred VanVleet is a different player than he is. He's going to get the same minutes. He's going to be the same rates. The matchup slightly changes. The salary slightly changes. But I want to get to these guys again because I think they're better plays than they were. Anyway, guys, that's all I got here. I got to get going. I appreciate you being here. Contenders videos are going to be out after the strategy show. I just don't have enough time to get them out early today. NFL top fives are coming out later today too. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do so. I love having you guys for this stuff. It really makes me happy to do this show. Final process of this week. I'll be back again for the process Monday morning, 6:30 a.m., bright and early. Good luck today, everybody, guys.